conference championship round is here, with the games as follows: Tampa vs. Green Bay, and Bills vs. the Chiefs. Both teams are favored by 3. Both games have a chance to be in bad weather, but I'm taking the Buccaneers to beat the Packers because the Buccaneers showed me something against New Orleans. They could be a defense. They could show that they could run against the Saints defense and they could beat their offense with no despair. And then for the Bills vs. Chiefs, if Patrick Mahomes does play, Chiefs are going to win. It's as simple as that. It's hard to stop Patrick Mahomes. But if he doesn't, the Bills have the edge. So if Patrick Mahomes doesn't play, the Bills win 31-17. But if Patrick Mahomes does play, Chiefs win 38-24. Where Tampa will beat Green Bay 31-27. And then Phillip Rivers decided to hang it up. He has retired after 17 seasons, 16 with the Chargers, and 1 with the Colts. And best wishes for all your future endeavors and your next venture in life. Hopefully you have as much success as you did in this past one. Then you have Deshaun Watson. He wants to be traded. Makes sense. He was told, you're going to be part of the head coaching search and you're going to be part of the GM search. He was not part of the GM search. He wasn't even consulted. And he wanted Eric Bieniemy, and they were not going to give him to him until their new GM, Nick Caserio, decided, you know what? Yeah, I want to interview Eric Bieniemy. So I'd be mad too. And he can delay his services well within the year. So if I'm Deshaun Watson, who a lot of Houston Texans alumni have said, I do the same thing that Deshaun is doing. So he's got the backing from his teammates, former players, and probably that whole organization. They're in trouble if they don't find a way to move him. Why people don't want to sign it? Why people don't want to bring in Eric Bieniemy? They're scared. They're worried about that he's just a prototype. That there's nothing good about Eric Bieniemy. He does not give them, I think, the satisfaction as a play caller. Plus, under the Andy Reid tree, where they brought in Doug Peterson and Matt Nagy, they have not been great play callers, and I think everyone's concerned about that. So, to me, that's the reason. I don't know if it's the exact reason, but to me, I think that's the reason. Is the success that those two coaches did have. Well, Doug Peterson, even though he had a Super Bowl, it wasn't fully his success. And now we're going to go through who has got a new head coach. We have the LA Chargers. They brought in Brandon Staley, who is the defensive coordinator for the Rams. Jets, they brought in Robert Saleh, who is the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. Dan Campbell was the tight ends coach for the Saints. Urban Meyer obviously worked in the college ranks, but last time we saw him, he worked for Fox. And then, I don't know a lot about this next one, but the Falcons hired Arthur Smith. I don't know much about him. I think he worked in the college ranks, but I'm not exactly sure. And the Eagles, since they haven't picked a coach, I've decided to put the candidates on this list. They have Dennis Allen, who in my opinion should be a head coach. He's been stellar as a defensive coordinator for the Saints. Deuce Staley, the Eagles running backs coach. Gerard Mayo, who played for New England as their middle linebacker, who's now their inside linebackers coach. Joe Brady, offensive coordinator for the Panthers. Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys. And then more we have is Nick Sirianni. I'm not sure if I said that correctly, but he's the offensive coordinator for the Titans. Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator for the Bucks. Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. But the interesting one is John Fassel, the special teams coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, who has done a terrific job. Very creative guy. Was an interim head coach at one point for the Rams when they fired Jeff Fisher. Same thing, Dan Campbell was an interim head coach for Joe Philbin when he was fired, when he was at Miami. John Fassel is a creative guy. He's turned that Cowboy special teams from bottom tier worst to top 15 best. And it's only going to get better when they have actual off season. But even though the Eagles said, oh, they're casting a wide net, I think they're just doing it to gain intel on the Cowboys. But who should the Eagles hire as their new head coach? You decide.